Welcome to the first edition of the HbbTv Symposium Digital Experience. This is the first of a series of preview events leading you towards the 10th HbbTv Symposium and Awards taking place in Prague. And you've just seen some images of the beautiful old town taking place in Prague on the 9th and 10th of November this year. As you know, it's the annual key summit of the global HbbTv community and the connected TV industry. You'll hear the latest market developments, trends, new products, services, and update on what's happening with the specifications. And of course, it's a great opportunity to meet old and new friends and do some valuable networking in Prague. This year's focus, being based in the Czech Republic, is of course the HbbTv markets in Central and Eastern Europe. There's a lot going on, and we'll be hearing a lot about what's going on in the HbbTv ecosystem today from a great lineup of speakers. But first, it's time for Angelo Petazzi to give us a welcome address from the HbbTv Association. Angelo is the chairman of the HbbTv Association's Marketing and Education Working Group. That's the working group organizing the HbbTv Symposium and Awards each year. Welcome, Angelo.
Thank you, Jörn. I hope you can hear me good. Perfect. Thank you very much. And thank you very much to our attendees that are here today. This event is one of the events that the HbbTv Marketing Education Working Group imagined to promote, to share information on the 10th HbbTv Symposium and Award, to offer our sponsor a platform to present themselves, their services, and their product and discuss relevant topics. As said, maybe I have a presentation. I don't know if someone is able to do, or I do it by myself. Give me 1 second.
There it is.
Okay, it is easier. Perfect. Thank you very much. Just to accompany me with the speeches and the in order to help you in understanding what I'm saying. So in the next slide, we have the venue of Prague. The symposium is at the National House of Vinohrady. It is a very nice place, and I am very, very proud to share the burden of realizing our symposium and award with HbbTv, the Association of Commercial Television, formed in 2017 as an association of terrestrial television broadcasting operators with the goal of defending, supporting, and promoting common interests of commercial broadcasting in the Czech Republic. We listen more on HbbTv from Eva in a moment. The venue, as was saying, is fantastic, is simply terrific. It is the National House of Vinohrady, well positioned in the city center, in front of a tube station. We have plenty of space for our event. If you go forward with my slide, you can have the chance to see the great hall, a very incredible and magnificent ballroom that will host the conference. And around the ballroom, we will host our sponsor booth, where the attendees could enjoy networking with comfort and fresh coffee, food, and drinks. In the next slide, you have the plan of the venue. You can see the Mayakovsky Hall, where we have the conference, and around we have the spaces, the exhibition area for our sponsors. In terms of sponsor, in the next slide, I would like to thank you and give a very warm welcome to our early sponsor that are Kineton as a platinum sponsor, and as a diamond sponsor we have Yota Media Labs and RTI from Mediaset. Thank you again for attending this HbbTv digital experience. Enjoy the day, and I looking forward to welcome you in Prague. And thank you again. Is up to you, Bjorn. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Angelo, for this update from the HbbTV Association. Now let's move over live to the Czech Republic, where Eva is waiting for us. She's the Business Development Manager, HbbTV, at the Czech commercial broadcaster TV Nova, one of the big broadcasters. And she's speaking on behalf of AKTV. We've just heard AKTV is the Association of Commercial Television over in the Czech Republic. And very proudly, of course, the co-host of this year's HbbTV Symposium and Awards, together with the HbbTV Association. Welcome, Eva.
Hi everyone, I would like to invite you to upcoming event HbbTV Symposium. As was already said, it's in Prague, it's in the capital of Czech Republic, and maybe you are wondering why Prague. I would like to tell you that Prague is a very beautiful city, as you have already seen on the video, but the beautiful time is before the Christmas, and it's time when the symposium is take place. So come to Prague, come to visit us. We will discuss a lot about the HbbTV, and we will also share some our knowledge about HbbTV in Czech Republic, because the HbbTV has a very high reach. It's around 30% of householders have HbbTV, so it's quite a large penetration in Czech Republic. And I have to say that HbbTV is very popular with the broadcasters and viewers as well. For the perspective of broadcasters, HbbTV is another pillar for the distribution of video content, a powerful marketing tool, and a new source of revenue. From the point of the viewers, HbbTV represents a new platform for watching video content. So I'm sure that you will learn something new here in Prague, and I would love to see you all there. And as was already said, I will be a co-host or co-moderator there. So see you on the stage, and hopefully you will come all, and welcome in the event.
Thank you very much, Eva. And yes, I have to underline it again. Eva will be, we have the pleasure that Eva will be the co-host of the HbbTV Symposium, a 2-day event, together with Julian Glover, editor at Broadband TV News. So if you want to see more of Eva, come to Prague on November the 9th and 10th. Thank you very much. And now let's go into a few facts and figures. And the update will come from Paul Gray, who's research director at Omdia, and we're now, of course, eagerly expecting the latest news on the market developments from Paul.
Hello, Jörn. Thank you very much. I apologize for the coughing in advance. I had COVID a couple of weeks ago. I'm not fully recovered. So yeah, it's bar chart time. So I'd just like to show 3 little slides, just talking a little bit about the TV market at the moment. What we, of course, are seeing is the end of the pandemic phase and a lot of new factors entering the TV market. So if I could have the next slide, please. And everybody at the moment is saying, well, what happens when consumers find that money is tight? What happens if there's a recession? And so this is a little bit of research I've done going back to 2007, so the last 15 years. Of what we see in the TV market, and that is that in developed countries, so in Europe in particular, but also North America, then we don't see a strong link historically between TV demand and the economy, or unemployment indeed. And the reason is that consumers have choices. So when people find that their budgets are tight and constrained, then they don't just stop spending money on everything, and they make choices. And one of the things that is worth remembering is that TV is a really, really high value entertainment for consumers. It's really incredibly good value. It's not expensive, especially if you watch off air from a free to air broadcaster. There's a huge amount of choice available, and that TVs overall are a very, very good value by comparison with, say, eating a meal out or taking the family to a cinema. TV does really well on that. So what we found in the past, and I don't think it's any different in future, is that TV should be a fairly robust category, even if there's a recession, and even while consumers find that their spendable income is under pressure. Next slide, please. So looking on the next slide to our Western Europe TV forecast, then yes, demand is settling to a new level after the pandemic. Actually, in 2022, we think that the overall market numbers are going to be pretty much the same as 2020. And actually, at the moment, we're still running at levels a little bit above 2019. So it's in all terms actually quite a strong year. It's going to be a very strange year on seasonality that everything is going to be to play for in about 6 weeks in October and November in the run up to the World Cup and Black Friday and then Christmas. And interestingly, this year, due to broadcast switchover, Italy is probably going to be the biggest TV market this year. At the moment, Italy is certainly very, very strong. And that's due to the broadcast changing and incentives from the government. And after that, I think we'll see a quiet year next year. And then probably France will take over in 2024, again with a broadcast transition. And it's important to say that broadcasting changes really alter the TV market far more than other things. Next slide, please. Going to Eastern Europe, then again, we have post-pandemic demand settling to new levels. However, it's a very, very different story between Russia and the rest of Eastern Europe. So Russia, the sanctions, the exits of global brands, and very, very severe pressure on consumer spending is going to affect the TV market very badly. And we think that about 2 million a year shrinkage of the TV market in Russia. However, for the rest of Eastern Europe, we think it's going to be very similar to Western Europe in that we'll be at 2019 levels and again with very, very extreme seasonality. So it's no time to panic. We have got a very young TV installed base because of the surge in 2020 and 2021. That is really good for people offering HBB services because we have got such a modern TV installed base. And we look forward to demand being really quite resilient in the next couple of years once we've got over some very, very strange seasonality this year with the with the Winter World Cup. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Paul, for these interesting figures. And I think it's really a relief to see, despite the difficult times we're living in, and they don't seem to get any better, it's a good sign that the TV industry, at least, remains very resilient and consumers are not prepared to stop spending time and money on TV entertainment. And there are other areas where that might be more affected. I think that is quite an interesting conclusion. So thank you very much for this update, Paul.
My pleasure.
Now it's time to move on to the sponsors. We've got, as Angelo mentioned already, 3 main sponsors for this year's HbbTv Symposium and Awards. That's Kineton, Yotta Media Labs, and RGI Mediaset. From Kineton, we've got Nello Saulino with us. From Yotta Media Labs, we've got Rai Patel. And from Mediaset, we've got Fabio Guarnaccia with us. So I'd like to welcome first Nello from Kineton, and what's been going on at Kineton recently? I think you've got a little presentation for us.
Yeah. Can you see my screen?
Yes, it's there.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks, Joran. Thanks, everybody. I'm glad to see you all again. Also, this year, Kineton will attend to the HbbTv Symposium as Platinum sponsor. We have many new things we are working on, which we will have the pleasure of showing during the event in Prague. Last likely year, Kineton presented 2 of its products. The first one is the new version of CAMP for audience measurement of HbbTv applications. And the second one is SCAP for the management of announcement campaigns. We talked about our application creation process and the new version of the framework we use, developed entirely from scratch. We also discussed interoperability of HbbTv devices. We attach great importance to this issue since 90% of HbbTv applications for national and regional channels in Italy are developed in our labs. To handle interoperability issues, this year we are proud to present our new product, which is called Kine Media Cert. Its purpose is to provide support to manufacturers to certify HbbTv compliance. It is a modular, decentralized, user-friendly, cloud-based platform capable of managing the entire life cycle of a test for HbbTv certification. The basic idea is to provide in a single user-friendly platform the entire testing process up to the execution of a test suite. And let me say, at the same time, to be able to generate a report, which is indispensable, obviously, for obtaining certification. We are also working on several new ideas involving different aspects in the development of applications. One of the issues we are addressing is advertising insertion in its two forms, client side and server side. We strongly believe in this topic because it is definitely the near future of advertising. HbbTv has completely changed the way of watching TV and generally entertaining the viewer. We are in process of studying new experiences that can increase user engagement. And among these, there are various immersive experiences. We are studying, for example, 360 degrees or 180 degrees videos to increase user sensory experiences. Our framework is nearing completion. We have isolated some of its new features, and we are progressively introducing them into our application in order to be able to stress the new logic and deliver a quality product. Our CAP and CAM products are constantly evolving. For audience measurement, we are integrated very advanced data analysis algorithms that will provide a very important information on the audience. CAP, on the other hand, has seen several improvements, such as the addition of time zone management and new creatives that are able to provide new experiences and possibility for broadcasters using it. So, see you at our booth in Prague. We will be glad to host you and to show you all our new products and ideas. So thank you all, and see you in Prague.
Thank you very much. And now you'll be part of the discussion round after the presentations of the sponsors. So we'll see you again in a couple of minutes. Let's now move from Italy back to the UK. We'll hear an update. Hi from you. Thank you.
Hi there. So we welcome everyone to join at the Symposium in Prague as the Diamond sponsor. I'm sure, I think with coming back from COVID and everyone now rejoining a lot of the conferences and shows and things, there are a lot of things that we want to be able to demonstrate. I think some of the sort of key things that we observed at the last HbbTv Symposium was the operator app as a service. You saw on the video, the trailers, there's a lot of operator services that we've launched with TV and then with HD+. And I think that's continuing on, and hopefully we can bring some extra views and screens that we haven't demonstrated before. Along with that, I think comes kind of key with audience measurement, a platform. We'd like to kind of help to show and demonstrate how that may work using operator services and the visualization, some of the things that we've learned over from the US as well. A lot of the learnings are coming out around volume and traffic and data, and how we need to stay within GDPR and compliance, but also trying to identify and make kind of digital advertising and ad insertion work in the right way. I think recently, I think some of you may have seen me at the DVB World. I was very, I think, impressed with some of the work that's gone on in there. I think some of the things around DVB-I and DVB native IP, and how some of these things could work within a HbbTv environment. I think there's some things that we need to think about and understand and learn. and then also what's the impact of this within operator applications, and see, you know, some of the exploitations that we could offer for operators. You know, how does a hybrid service now work in this context? I think there's some, some key things that we would like to demonstrate, like to incite, like to think about, and create some thought process around what the industry thinks. Is there something here that we could leverage, and also take some of the other lessons that we're learning at Yotta over on the state side. So there's a lot of interesting things that we want to be able to demonstrate and show, and I hope everyone can join us in Prague.
Thank you, Rai, for this update. I can see there is a lot happening. It seems to be that Yotta Media Labs is involved in every bit of that.
There is
You've got something
absolutely.
for everyone, and you've just mentioned some great names of major partners. You've got HD Plus in Germany, for example.
Yeah. Yes.
With the HbbTv op app, they've been pioneers in that area.
Absolutely.
So do you think the op app and specific specifications like that, that is like a way forward to the future?
I think so. I mean, particularly, I think things like HD Plus have launched an IPTV service as well, where you can't get a satellite connection, and I think this plays nicely, perhaps how DVB-I works within this environment and how other markets can learn from that. I think most of all the top manufacturers have now implemented operators applications and the support for HbbTV specs. So I think that now we are kind of moving into 2023 as a way of exploiting this to other territories and other countries, and really realizing operator benefits and also to consumer benefits as well.
A lot of growth opportunities, and of course glad to see that HbbTv is always part of them as being kind of the connection element from the broadcast world to the internet, the OTT, the IP world. And from my point of view, I see as an observer that it seems to be that the IP element is growing. That's the growing factor. DVB-I, for example. Is that something you can confirm?
Yes, I confirm at least that we want to pilot, and I think that also at IBC we're trying to hit and see what we could do as a proof of concept, because I think it's still uncharted waters at the moment around what does the spec offer today, what other improvements are perhaps needed to fulfill like an operator service, and I think it's interesting to see how that might work together. I think that there's still learnings to be had. I think the spec has to evolve. Like the first operator app spec had many things in there, and then we added some extra features in to the next version of the spec. So I would undoubtedly think that DVB-I would have a similar course where there's some extra things we need. But it's interesting to see what we have now, and certainly some of the manufacturers adding things in.
That's part of the journey we're all on. It's never finished.
Absolutely.
But that's also what makes fun, and it never gets boring.
Exactly, it makes it fun. Absolutely.
Thank you. Absolutely. So we'll hear more from you in the debate in a moment. But let's now take some time to go back to Italy, where at Mediaset, Fabio is waiting for us to give us an update from TI.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Jorn. And today, I would like to give you a brief preview of what Mediaset is going to present at the HbbTv Symposium. So for the Prague appointment, we have two demos, but that covers two main aspects that we believe are essential for the development of the broadcaster business. But before, I must make a necessary clarification about the two demos, because they are still in a phase of fine-tuning and testing. So we are still gathering the consent of our tech partners to promote these two projects, which is, I think, quite normal since we are about 5 months to the date of the symposium. But going to the demos, we can go to the next slide, please. We have two projects. One is about targeted advertising, and one is about the DVB-I advanced experimentation. Next slides, please. Okay, thank you. Yeah, TA the importance of TAs every year increase with the increasing of penetration of connected TV sets, as you know, as we saw before. Penetration now is close to 50% of the households. In some cases, in some countries, is well beyond. In all European markets. If next slide, please. If last year in Paris we showed how we are already using the HbbTv standard to offer the TA to the market with our sale house, this year we would like to present the state of advanced testing preparatory to the market of the TA performed through the new HbbTv TA specification that allow an increase in performance and standard capabilities, and so therefore in the addressable inventory. Next slide, please. The second topic concerns the advanced experimentation we are conducting on the DVB-I standard. As a broadcaster, it seems clear to us that DVB-I importance on distribution policy is directly proportional to the progressive growth of broadband and ultra broadband connection in the households. We strongly believe that the future of television still depends on linear offer, which today accounts for more than 90% of the time spent in front of connected television. And so we believe that it should be a common goal for the television market to guarantee the viewer a linear TV experience on IP comparable to the current one. And most important, without any friction in the passage from one transmission source to another. Mediaset has recently completed the DVB-I proof of concept in full compliance with the DVB specification relating to DVB-I. And in 2023 is our will to launch a market trial of this standard. With this goal in mind, we used the HbbTV word to ensure the functioning of two fundamental aspects: an HbbTV application to guarantee access to our free channels, made available in HD quality and protected by DRM, and an HbbTV application to allow access to multicast ABR. Next, no, this is the last one, sorry. Sorry, thank you. The first HbbTV app allow us to ensure that all TV sets participating in the future market trial, will DRM solution natively implemented or not, will be able to see our channels in a safe and verified way. The second HbbTV app is an experiment carried out in partnership with a primary Italian ISP, able to identify the user's network condition, and so to selectively enable the use of ABR multicast. This is an important step forward for a wider diffusion of linear service VIP, especially for the most popular channels for which the unicast solution could not be enough to guarantee the quality and continuity of service to which viewers are used to. But Demos saw the involvement of our partner Fincons on the HbbTV application side. And next slide, please. At the moment, we cannot tell you more because the development of the solutions, including their end-to-end testing, is still ongoing with our tech partners. So we just have to wait a little longer to find out more. So it's a good way to see you in Prague.
The secret will be lifted in Prague. So thank you very much. And please stay with us, Fabio, because we'll start the discussion round right now. And so I'd like to welcome back Rai from Iota. And we also have Vincent, who's the chairman of the HbbTv Association. Welcome, and welcome to Paris. I'd have to say it's a new city joining us now, and of course Paul from the UK is with us as well. So we've got a great round of experts here, and I wouldn't want to lose any more time. So let's get started with the which I think is one of the most important questions that we all have, you all have as market players, and me as a market observer. What do you think is the most important HbbTv development at the moment? Let's start with you, Vincent, being of course at the top of the HbbTv Association.
Well, I'm not sure I should be the one speaking first, because HbbTv Association is here only to serve the needs of the market players. So maybe it would be better even to hear that from.
Of course, let's hear that. Let's hear that from the markets.
I'd love to hear it from Fabio, maybe, or from Raj and Kineton, who are serving the market players, maybe.
Okay, who would like to start?
I can start first if you,
sure.
if you like. So I think one of the key things I think we're seeing evolving is around obviously DAI and targeted advertising. I think that's probably, you know, we've kind of come out from Dash and the normal video playbacks, encrypted streams, so they're all kind of there in HbbTV. But I think what's coming out definitely is the targeted advertising, how those APIs work, and as we're seeing with Mediaset, some of the demonstrations around how they work in Europe, and particularly then when you think about the addition of IP streams and server-side ad insertion, client-side reporting, and DAI. I think that they're kind of the sort of hot topics at the moment. You're seeing that realization, and I think those are probably some of the key factors here.
Okay, anything to add, Nello?
No, I totally agree with Raj. Totally agree, because also from our side, we are doing a lot of research about the DAI and the server-side substitution, because mostly the second one is probably the future of advertising. So we need absolutely to have it on HbbTV.
Okay, and Paul, I'd like to hear your view, because you told me early on you're looking at something that maybe not everybody has got on the screen instantly when thinking about HbbTV, and that's the gaming industry.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, I think this year, talking to my colleagues who research the gaming business, I've totally changed my mind about gaming and TVs. So I think we're at the beginning of a third streaming wave. The first wave was audio, the second wave was video. We're just finishing that video wave now, and I think targeted advertising is that end of that streaming video wave, and the next one is gaming. And what we will see is a similar to these other stages, that gaming moves from being on a piece of dedicated hardware to just being everywhere on everything that can decode it. It's going to be very, very important. It's going to take gaming beyond consoles. It's already, of course, on smartphones, and now it will come to TVs. And it means that there's an opportunity there for anybody who plays in HbbTV to become part of that. It's also something I think that's really important in terms of content. So we've seen TV content become more movie-like, movie content become more TV-like. And gaming is again, it's boundaries between gaming and TV or movie content are getting smaller and smaller. I watched a Bruce Willis movie a couple of months ago. I can't remember which one it was now, but it looked to me like I was watching somebody's gaming sequence on Twitch. So I think this is a really important one to watch. It's going to be a very, very exciting developments in the next 2 or 3 years as people start to create solutions to it.
Thank you, Paul. It's very interesting to look at that because that is new to me at least. And we've been thinking about doing an HbbTv webinar on HbbTv and gaming. And I think now the time seems to approach that we should be really looking into that. And hopefully after the summer break, we'll get closer to that. Vincent, your comments on the future and HbbTv.
Yeah, well, thank you very much first to the previous speakers who gave some excellent thoughts on where the industry is aiming. I'm especially interested in hearing Raj and Nello speaking about DAI. I, of course, absolutely agree with dynamic advertisement insertion being a top priority. Where I am not 100% clear is what do we still need to do from a specification and HBB point of view, and I think that's going to be a very interesting topic to further discuss in the Prague Symposium. To still add a little bit on that, I believe that on the top of our list at the HbbTv Association and Steering Group, we have two themes which you can expect to be very present in the Prague Symposium. Number one is DRM, and I think that theme was present already, but if I may say, in a negative manner in the Paris Symposium, where it's been evidence that DRM was maybe not perfectly handled in an HbbTv TV set in general, and that it was very important. And that that resonates with what Paul said, with TV and movie becoming the same thing, and it's absolutely true. And that comes to the point that an HbbTv application needs to be able to rely on a sophisticated DRM. This may have been a weakness of HbbTv, and we are in the process of resolving that. And you can expect interesting things to be released in Prague about that. Another, and I will stop here then, another important theme, which is high on the list of the HbbTv Association and Steering Group, is to facilitate the verification of the compliance of TV devices with specification. As HbbTv is a maturing specification, it's more and more used. And of course, the market has a very high expectation that TV sets are compliant, and it is not an easy thing to do. And there is a need to do a lot of things, and some of those things are done outside of the HbbTv Association. Maybe there are more things to be done from the HbbTv Association.
Okay, that's great. And of course, these are all important points that we will certainly discuss at the symposium. There's a question coming in from Louis from Fraunhofer in Berlin. Will HbbTv play a role in the future metaverse? Who would like to respond?
I'll jump in.
Yes.
I think the answer is I don't see any reason why not. It's all about media consumption, and it's about content, and the display technology may change the way you present it, changes it, but the need for interoperability, open standards, public media doesn't change, because that's about people and content as opposed to technology.
And I think open standards is an important keyword, and being transparent, of course, in this new emerging world. And recently at the Fraunhofer Focus Web Symposium in Berlin, there was an initiative presented that lots of leading standardization organizations have joined forces for open standards, to establish open standards for the metaverse. And I think that is quite an important development, as is standardization and standards anyway, and they have always been playing an important role at the previous HbbTv symposiums, and I'm sure they will do the same at this year's in Prague. We're running out of time, unfortunately, so I'd like to thank all of you for your contributions today, and I'm looking forward to meeting you in Prague. Vincent will stay with us and have a final message telling you, for letting you know all the reasons why you should join us in Prague. Thank you, Vincent.
Well, I will start with number one reason is that we are very lucky at HbbTv that we can celebrate 2 times a 10th anniversary. last year was the real 10th anniversary of the association. Now it's going to be the 10th anniversary of the symposium. So that's another anniversary, and anniversaries are great because we've got champagne and applause, etc. No, that's a joke. Now, I would like to say a big thank you to the sponsors. I would like to say also a big thank you to EVA and HbbTv. We are very, very happy to host or to have the symposium hosted, co-hosted in a country where HbbTv has never been. And I just learned that HbbTv was that important in the Czech Republic, and it's great to hear that. I think we will have a great symposium, and the small debate we just had and the interesting presentations, I think, are really excellent and are a signal of the quality of the debates and of the stories that will happen in the symposium. So definitely, I think nobody from the TV industry should miss the symposium. As you may have heard me saying many times, the TV industry is going under transformation. HbbTv is a very important enabler to transform the TV industry. And HbbTv Symposium is a must for anybody who has a role in the transformation of the TV industry. So I really look forward to see everybody there. And again, thank you to the sponsors who have already agreed to be a sponsor. And if you've not agreed, be fast, because the demand is very high, and it's an outstanding opportunity to get your company known in the world of TV technology.
Thank you. Yes, the call for sponsors is still running, so make sure you get one of the remaining slots. And also there's another call running, that's the call for speakers. So if you'd like to hold a presentation at this key event of the global connected TV industry in front of the top people from the HbbTv community and the CTV industry, please make sure you submit your proposal for a speech in the call for speakers. You can find all details on the HbbTv website. And also we've had a lot of questions. When is the HbbTv Awards, the competition, starting? It is going to be opened in July. There'll be a press release, and you'll soon hear about the opening for entries for the HbbTv Awards this year. Very respected and well-recognized award in our industry. Maybe one last thing that you might not have known that I discovered by accident: the National House of Vinohrady, where the symposium is going to take place, right in the center of beautiful Prague, the old town, used to be the home of the national Czech broadcaster in the 1920s. So there is even a connection to the broadcast world from the location of this year's symposium and awards. So thank you very much for joining us in the past 45 minutes. We're finishing right on time. That's a good sign. So I hope you have a nice afternoon, and we'll see you all in Prague. Thank you. See you then.
Thank you. Bye-bye.